You know that reflex, that tiny, almost invisible habit? You tap your banking app before buying something, not because it's expensive, just to make sure, just to confirm you're safe. You do it before groceries, before dinner, before filling up your gas tank, before clicking Confirm Order. That reflex tells you more about your financial life than your income ever could. Because when you live close to the edge, every swipe is a decision, and every decision costs energy. Most people think wealth begins when you make more money. It doesn't. Wealth begins the day you stop checking your balance before buying normal things. And for most people, that shift happens around 6 months of living expenses. Not because the number is magical, but because the pressure disappears. Let me show you what I mean. It's Sunday evening. You're meal prepping. You realize you're out of something basic. Olive oil, chicken, coffee. So you drive to the store. And as you walk the aisles, something subtle happens. You're not calculating. You're not rounding prices in your head. You're not debating whether to put something back. You just buy what you need. You leave, and your heart rate never changes. That's not luxury. That's margin. And margin is the first real form of freedom. Now let's rewind. Same Sunday, different financial situation. You're in the same aisle, but this time your brain is running math in the background. If this is $42 and gas is $60 and the credit card minimum is $190, it's not dramatic. It's not bankruptcy. It's just constant micro-stress. And what most people don't understand is that this constant calculation reshapes your brain. Research from behavioral economics shows that scarcity narrows attention. When resources feel tight, your brain hyper-focuses on immediate problems. That sounds helpful. It's not. Because while you're calculating groceries, you're not thinking about negotiating your salary. You're not thinking about long-term investing strategy. You're not thinking creatively. Scarcity doesn't just shrink your bank account, it shrinks your decision-making horizon. Here's the part nobody says out loud. When you have no margin, you become risk-averse in the wrong places. You stay at jobs you hate. You avoid asking for raises. You pass on opportunities that require short-term uncertainty because you can't afford volatility. And when you can't afford volatility, you can't access upside. That's the trap. Now imagine the same person, same job, same income, but this time they've built 6 months of expenses. Nothing flashy, no new car, no lifestyle change, just margin. Now something changes. They speak differently in meetings. They negotiate differently. They walk into interviews differently because desperation has left their body. And when desperation leaves your body, your posture changes. Your voice slows down. You pause before answering. You stop agreeing too quickly. You stop tolerating what you used to tolerate. That's not mindset. That's structure. Let's talk math for a second. If your monthly expenses are $3,000, 6 months is $18,000. That's not millionaire territory, but it's powerful territory. Because now, a $1,200 car repair is an inconvenience, not a debt cycle. A medical bill doesn't become 18% interest. A short gap between jobs isn't catastrophic. And here's where it compounds psychologically. Once you stop fearing small shocks, you start making bigger moves. You invest more consistently. You negotiate harder. You tolerate market volatility because you don't need the money next week. You think in years, not pay periods. That shift alone can double your lifetime wealth. Not because you changed strategies, because you changed stability. Now here's the mistake most people make. They finally build margin, they feel relief, and then they expand their lifestyle to match the relief. Better apartment, car upgrade, higher fixed costs, which quietly removes the margin they just fought for. And they don't notice at first, because income covers it, until something happens, and the checking reflex comes back. That's how people make $120,000 a year and still feel fragile. Margin is not about income. It's about distance between your lifestyle and your capacity. The people who build real wealth understand something subtle. The goal isn't to eliminate work. The goal is to eliminate urgency. Because urgency distorts decisions. Urgency creates bad contracts, bad investments, bad negotiations, bad partnerships. Remove urgency and your decisions improve. Improved decisions compound. One day, without noticing exactly when it happened, you'll stand in a checkout line And you won't check your phone. You won't calculate. You won't feel that tiny spike in your chest. You'll just tap your card and walk out. And that ordinary, boring moment will be the clearest sign that you're no longer surviving. You're building. That's the real milestone. Not the car, not the house, not the income. The day you stop checking your balance before living your life. Build margin. Protect margin. Because margin turns pressure into power, and power compounds. This channel isn't about fast wins. It's about steady progress. If that's the kind of mindset you are building, subscribe and stick around. Please like the video if it gave you more perspective. It helps this community to grow quietly, just like growth should. See you in the next one.